ball over home plate. The crowd erupted in cheers. The ball disappeared into the blue of the sky, then reappeared like a bullet headed straight for them. Everyone around Effa stood. If Bertha had had any thoughts about Effa's revelation, they were gone now. Effa jumped to her feet, too. The red stitches on the ball's seams became more pronounced with each passing second. Effa reached out, her marital problems and her mother's indifference about them forgotten. While she was aware of the pain that exploded in the palm of her hand, what had her entranced was the awe that she felt as she snatched the ball out of the air. "You just caught a home run!" the man next to her screamed as he patted her back. "You're a mighty lucky girl. I've come to every game here for the last 5 years, and that's never happened to me." Now the cheers were all for Effa. All the spectators in their section were directing their smiles at her. Her mother squashed her in an embrace. "My daughter caught the ball. My child." Bertha's words were bursting with pride. Effa clutched the ball to her chest, in awe of the amount of adoration that the small white leather sphere could inspire. This was the moment that Effa Bush fell in love with baseball. Chapter 1. Garment District, New York City, summer 1932. "Try this one instead." Effa Bush removed the dated straw cloche from Mrs. Everson's head and replaced it with a more daring, deep purple fedora. Effa fiddled with it until she achieved the desired effect. "See? Isn't that better?" Mrs. Everson admired her reflection, which revealed the high angle of the fedora's brim as it swooped over one eye. A netted veil cascaded over the edge to add to the hat's mystique. Effa had to admit that it was one of her more dramatic designs. Effa Bush discreetly checked the clock just beyond her customer's shoulder as Mrs. Everson studied herself in the countertop mirror, turning her head to and fro. 10 minutes until the store closed. Good. Still plenty of time to make it to her evening rendezvous. "Effa, my girl, you are a genius. I would have never picked out anything like this for myself." Normally, such praise for her work would have Effa beaming from ear to ear. She had been employed at Fleischer's millinery shop for almost a decade. Half those years had been spent on the sales floor while she learned the art of hat-making. It had been only recently that Mr. Fleischer thought her creations good enough to display in the front window of the store. But today was different. Effa's mind went back to the newspaper headline that had left her stunned that morning. Aubrey Lyles, dead. "It's amazing how much one step outside your comfort zone changes everything," Mrs. Everson chattered on, oblivious to the shopgirl's distraction. Effa nodded absently. "You're right, as always." Mrs. Everson removed the hat from her head and thrust it back in Effa's hands. "I'll take it." Effa retrieved a hat box from behind the counter while Missy, the newest shop apprentice, rang up the sale. Mrs. Everson was one of the sweeter customers who frequented the shop. She was also one of the younger patrons. Effa wouldn't be surprised if Mrs. Everson was around the same age as her, 35. Effa was grateful that today of all days, she was waiting on her and not one of their more obnoxious customers. The shock and grief over Aubrey's death had sapped the otherwise never-ending patience she needed to deal with some of these people. Effa finished patting the side of the circular hat box to protect Mrs. Everson's new purchase and handed the box to her by the string. "There you go. Please come back with pictures when you go out and wear it." Mrs. Everson was a bit of a socialite around Manhattan, so there were always pictures of her at one event or another in the newspapers. The girls in